Here at Bright Threads Ministries, we like to remind folks that people with special needs are the bright threads in the wonderful pattern that God is weaving with all of us. In children's programs, the group may be enriched in surprising ways by the inclusion of children of varying abilities. In this video, we will see how volunteers working together as a team can create a community of children and adults where each person's abilities and gifts are valued. This takes practice, patience, and flexibility. Children with autism may move in repetitive ways, such as jumping. In this classroom, this kind of jumping is not considered misbehavior. The second child knows that it's okay to join his friend.
I like the way you're jumping. We're going to count down from 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go to music class.
First, the children are shown how to change behavior by counting down. Then they're shown what to do next. Most children need help with transitions. The children and adults in your classroom can all benefit from visual schedules. Let's see how practice in valuing each child's gifts can make our community stronger. One characteristic of people on the autism spectrum is that they may have limited ability to interpret situations and the feelings of other people. Being included in a typical children's ministry setting gives them practice with this skill. Peer buddies are a good way for children to practice relationships. This game reinforces the day's lesson, but the most important thing these children are learning are ways that they can play together. Finding a buddy with similar interests is a good first step. Successful peer buddies often have a natural sense of compassion. Buddies can learn to see things from another perspective. Give the peer buddies practice in using appropriate tools.
My friend is worried about his mom coming back. Can we sit at the beanbag chairs?
Of course you can.
Change is a natural part of life, but it's a difficult thing for children to manage, particularly children on the autism spectrum. Families and teachers have learned that social stories give children practice in facing new situations.
To
Church.
and you're going to find a
Seat.
seat. Good. Turn the page for me.
I see Miss Becky.
You do. Good job. That's who you're going to see at church. And you're going to sing a song about...
Jesus.
Good job. Do you want to take your book with you to church?
Yes.
This social story, made with pictures from Dean's own church, helped him practice what was coming next. When Dean and his family started going to worship together, they walked through the space when there were no people in the sanctuary, so Dean could practice his new routine. Any new activity is practiced until it becomes routine, and that includes having patience. Volunteers need to practice patience because some children take longer with speech or with ordinary daily activities. Here's an example of a teacher practicing patience with communication.
Can you get the card? I want toy. Good job. I want toy. Thank you.
It's worth it to wait for Kylie to speak the words herself. Practice patience with bathroom needs, and be sure to ask parents to show you what kind of help a child needs. Practice patience with eating. Another thing that volunteers need to practice in order to create a safe community is to keep a watchful eye. Practice vigilance. Children experiencing a sensory crisis may react by escaping, and they can move fast. Being observant, practicing vigilance, may help volunteers catch another response to an overstimulating situation: fight. So keep watch to be ready for fight and flight. And finally, community is strengthened when we are all able to share our gifts. Plan activities that allow multiple ways to respond.
Is there someone you would like to have us pray for? How about your mom? Want us to pray for your mom? We'll say pray for Devlin's mom.
Valuing a child's contribution to the group may be as simple as assigning a task, such as setting up the visual schedule or holding the door. This becomes part of their routine and gives them a greater sense of belonging and importance. As we practice being a community of children and volunteers whose gifts are all valued, we discover that the group is enriched by the presence and participation of children with special needs. Let's recap classroom strategies for practicing community. Children on the autism spectrum may lack social perspective. A relationship with a peer buddy gives both children practice in building friendships. When routine changes, a social story allows a child to practice a new routine multiple times. This increases a sense of comfort in a new situation. We learn patience from children whose normal activities move at a much slower pace than ours. Staying alert to children's behavior is the best way to intervene when a child's response to a sensory issue is fight or flight. The community is enriched when all children are able to participate in some way. As always, parents are a good source of information about a particular child's social interaction. Two excellent resources are The Out of Sync Child by Carol Kranowitz and, from a faith perspective, Autism in the Church by Barbara Newman. We hope that this video will help strengthen your relationships with the children in your group, that you can move past fear and uncertainty to loving each child as a unique individual.